40 shooting like a boom. Smack 'em. Cool. Quiet.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the NBA Recap. Yes, sir, back in the video, back in another episode. And today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic and a very interesting team that I want to talk about because I really have not given this team much love. And ironically, because I'm going to talk about that later, why I haven't. Now, before I get to start the video, I want to say if my hair looks crazy, I just got out of the shower. I just came back from track practice, and I know I just got out of the shower. So if my hair looks crazy and my hairline looks crazy, that's why it is. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, track practice. I just came back really tired. I hurt my calf for some reason. It's my second day back, and I already hurt my calf. But at the same time, tough thing is you gotta push through it, pass through it. I'm Superman, it's like nah. But at the same time, I'm still getting things done. I'm still gonna make videos for y'all, or for the 30 people that are watching, or for the 30 people, more like the 10 people that are watching. No offense. Subscribe. But at the same time, yeah. Today I want to talk about some different things with the LA Clippers. Now I have not given the LA Clippers much of anything this year, but I will explain that in the video. But without further ado, let's get into the vid. So for the Clippers, man, I mainly want to talk about Clippers, but I also want to focus more on Paul George, more than Kawhi and Rondo and all their acquisitions. I want to focus more on Paul George. Now, Paul George, in the last 5 games he has appeared in, has been absolutely shooting the lights out, man. He's been greening everything. He's been over eccentric, and I'm led to believe that it is from the acquisition of Rajon Rondo. Now people think, Rajon Rondo isn't really that guy. He wasn't that guy. It wasn't a big sign that everyone thought it would be. I disagree. I think Rajon Rondo with this team is very, very dangerous to what we want to see. The whole issue last year was that they didn't have a point guard. And obviously, most of this year, they didn't have a point guard. That's the only reason keeping them from winning a championship. That's why I never had them winning a championship, because I didn't think they had that floor general, that true point guard that they needed. And now they have a point guard, and not just any point guard, a guy in the ridiculously smart Rajon Rondo. Now, obviously, Rajon Rondo does not do much in the regular season. We all know that, but they signed him for the playoffs. That thing that happened with the Denver Nuggets, man, never happens ever again. Now, at the same time, I also want to talk about his shooting split and his numbers that he's been averaging. He's been averaging 29.3 points per game, 54% shooting from the field, 59% from the 3, and 100% from the free throw line. That is insane numbers from a guy who's everyone trashes from being inconsistent, which he is. But at the same time, it's just things that go on I think the acquisition of Rajon Rondo has finally made the game at least easier for him to score and to get everything set. For him, we know everything with the Paul George, man. We know everything with Paul George. People don't like him because he was talking shit back last year, and then he said something. He said different things. He said some stupid things every now and then. But at the same time, it's still Paul George. Paul George is still a star talent, and still a guy that's gonna give you buckets. But what I feel about the Clippers as a whole, I feel like this is I think their path to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even the finals, I think has become a little bit easier, because we all know what happened with the Denver Nuggets with Jamal Murray last night. Prayers up for Jamal Murray. He went down with a torn ACL, one of my favorite players to watch. Prayers up to him, man. But here's the thing. The Denver Nuggets, obviously, they're still a really great team, even despite Jamal Murray's injury. But at the same time, you gotta give the edge to the Clippers, man, because the Clippers, even though they are third in the West right now, they might be facing the Denver Nuggets if they move up any closer. So at the same time, I think if they move up, if they go down, actually, because with the seeding, they're the 3 seed, they'll probably face the 6 seeds at the same time. That's what happened. So I expect the Lakers to probably move up from the Nuggets because of the timetable. LeBron James coming back, and they will be coming back in a couple weeks. With the whole thing with the injuries that went on, man, crazy things are happening. But at the same time, I think that when the Denver Nuggets fall, the Clippers will have a probably easier path to the finals. Because I believe right now they would face whoever the 6 seed is. I believe it's the Blazers at the right now. I think they would be able to beat the Blazers as well. But at the same time, they could, with the Nuggets, man, it's flip flop. They can have any team. They can have really any team. They could have the Lakers even if they fall even more, or they could have the Denver Nuggets who are injury ridden right now. Obviously, Jamal Murray faithfully going out once again. Prayers up to him. But at the same time, it's a different thing. It's a different way to look at the Clippers, man, because the way they've been playing is just they've been playing really low key this season because people are not really focused on them as much because they know they're gonna flop. Even though I don't think that, I think that they're one of the most dangerous teams in the West, and one of the most teams that the Lakers should fear the most. But at the same time, I think for them, it's just the acquisition of Rondo. They finally had that floor general that they needed, that they wanted. Because that was, like I said before, that was the only thing that was keeping them from even winning, winning going on to the first Western Conference Finals, and going to the finals. But at the same time, it's gonna be really interesting to see what the Clippers will do with the remaining time that they have. But once again, people are still low managing at the same time. Their chemistry has been I think the chemistry is way better this year than it was last year. Even though people have been missing games. Patrick Beverley is obviously out with like some type of injury. I don't know what it was. He's out for like 3 to 4 weeks or something like that. Kawhi Leonard, wishy-washy, coming in, coming out. But he has played a lot more back-to-backs this year, so kudos to him, I guess. But yeah, but also I was watching this podcast. It really didn't bring it to my attention, but it's more of, should Paul George or Kawhi Leonard be the MVP? Now, with the Clippers, man, once again, they're a wishy-washy team, but at the same time, they could potentially move up in the standings. With the Utah Jazz coming down to life, losing some games, the Suns will probably stay where they are, and they could potentially move up. The Phoenix Suns will probably move up to the 1st seed, or the Clippers can move up to the 2nd seed, something like that. Because the way that they're playing really great basketball, people aren't really giving them the respect that they deserve. Probably not really psych them out because we all know what happened last year when that happened. They made themselves the villains for no reason. But now this year it's different. New coach, new coaching assistants, new coaching staff, new players, and I don't even think they've been playing with Serge Ibaka, their best center, and the guy that can shoot threes and block shots, which is insane to me. So I think definitely with the acquisition of Rondo, I think this team definitely can go all the way, and probably will face the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. If not, that'd be a huge disappointment, and Kawhi Leonard might have to leave that team because you can't do all that, man. At the same time, the way the rotations are pretty weird because I don't know what I'm confused on who their 6th man is, because sometimes it'll be Luke Kennard, sometimes it'll be Marcus Morris, or most of the time it'll be Marcus Morris, sometimes it'll be Luke Kennard, sometimes it'll be Reggie Jackson. It's just so weird how their rotations go, but obviously they've had some bright spots. Nicholas Batum, I call him Trash Tomb, but Nicholas Batum has been really good this season. I think he leads the league in corner threes, or is that Paul George? I don't really know. Their 3-point shooting has been ridiculous, man. I think they're one of the top 2 teams in 3-point makes, I think they're leading the league in 3-point makes, which is ridiculous. So this team is very dangerous, man. But obviously, they're gonna have to go through people, especially a good defense like the Lakers, who won't really give up that many threes, and are the team which they are, especially when everyone is healthy. Hopefully, everyone will be healthy, because I really want to see everyone fully healthy in the playoffs and see a real matchup. Other than last year when they failed, the Lakers went all the way without them. At the same time, it's really tough, man. This is the Clipper team that we were expecting from last year. This is the Clipper team that we wanted to see. The Clipper team that we want to invest in and see what's going on with this team, because this team has so many bright spots. It's ridiculous, man. And like I said, with the Kawhi and Paul George MVP, they are moving up with the rankings. Their numbers are ridiculous, man. Kawhi Leonard's averaging almost a 50, 40, 90 club. Same thing with Paul George. So at the same time, it's really weird how they're not in the MVP conversations. But obviously, Nikola Jokic is running away with it. Okay, not running away with it, but Nikola Jokic is at the top of the list. Joel Embiid has somehow put himself back in the race, which is kind of weird to me. But at the same time, I'll probably make a video about that later, about how Joel Embiid was weirdly put back into MVP conversations. And obviously, Dame Lillard is up there. James Harden, if he comes back, will be there. At the same time, you gotta really think about those players. Also, what's gonna happen with different different things that's gonna go on, especially with the playing tournament, which will take a few days, and all the different all just the NBA as a whole, man. I think the thing that this season is so compact. There's lots of injuries could happen. Hopefully, I'm knocking on wood that nothing happens. But at the same time, it's still really ridiculous how like the season's so compact and seeing so many injuries and so many things can go on, and we don't know what can happen for the Clippers' future, man. They could be the team that goes all the way, especially with everything they're doing. Tyler has done a great job. Obviously, I'm pretty sure he's abandoned the triangle offense, obviously, because of how people were kind of exposing that, and now they got Rondo, so they really need much for that. So what I'm saying in all is that the piece that they added are actually good pieces. I really didn't like the Nicholas Batum piece, but it actually been really great for them. I know Serge Ibaka was stepping for Montrezl Harrell, so that was a good piece. Now they added Rondo and Luke Kennard, obviously from before. Good piece. You know, he's kind of on the fence sometimes, but obviously Rajon Rondo probably, in my opinion, the biggest piece that they could have added. And I think that will propel them to go all the way. But yeah, that was that first video, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you tell your friends about my channel, man. Please let me know in the comments if you agree with me. If you think what I'm saying is right, if you think Paul George is a bust, like nah. Or if you think what I'm saying is bullshit, you think the Clippers will fail. But yeah, as always, we out. Peace.
You didn't get up and leave. Tell you to love you, didn't get up and leave. I showed the loyalty.